which is like it's a whole lifestyle, and I think that's why it's people hold it dear to them and want to keep it pure, is because it is almost like a way of life. It is almost like a religion, and like any kind of religion like that, you're gonna have zealots and moderates and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I think there's like and I think it's kind of like a lot of people who are purists kind of maybe are a little bit too hard on the mainstream, because it's like it's not Drake's fault that anybody's broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get mad at Drake. And plus, Drake can spit. Like, Drake is Drake is a gifted songwriter. So don't get mad at Drake because like you didn't make a hit record. You know what I'm saying? Like but at the same time, like, know your own lane. And like, I don't know what it is about hip hop artists that we just want to in the underground, like, we just want to keep it so 90s or whatever. Like, we want to but we do. I don't know what it is.
But that's the problem, because the fans aren't.
Right.
And so the reason Drake
But
is
we're
making
fans.
a gazillion dollars is because his fans are supporting him by paying money. Right?
Of course,
I mean, that's really what it is. Or at least there are corporations that think that they could get money by using him.
Or like, yeah, and you could equate it to like, it's kind of, I sometimes I compare myself to like Disco Stew. If you remember The Simpsons, like Disco Stew was like in contemporary society with like his disco attire on, like his disco stew on his, and he's got like the circle glasses and like the big afro, and he's just like, what are you doing? Sometimes I feel like I'm Disco Stew, and like I live in this world of just like everybody who is kind of like immersed in classic hip hop culture, and I wonder if like sometimes I come face to face with the larger world, and they're just like, they don't have no idea what I'm talking about, who these artists are, and all that. So maybe there is a kind of like, I live in a time warp,
Yeah, I think that we do to a certain extent. I really do, and I'm not even saying that to be funny, but it's true, because I look at like kids today, and if you say like people who, like, if you were to say Destiny's Child pre-Super Bowl when they performed at the halftime show, they would be like, "Who's Destiny's Child?" Like they don't, and that was relatively recent. Do you know what I mean? That was a bad example, but you know what I'm saying. Like, they don't. They're not being exposed to the classics.
Or like if you were to say like KRS-One, who's like
no one has any idea. The new generation has no clue.
They don't know who KRS is, but like to me, KRS is like the epitome of an MC, of like somebody who represents hip hop culture. Yeah. Like just through and through, from his ability to freestyle to like his content, and he doesn't stick to just one lane either. Like he changes his mind as an artist, like what he feels like is right, but he always says it with passion. Like he was not about a dollar. Like he lived in a park for a while and just like was in the library educating himself, and then like use that to use knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. I think that's a big part of hip hop culture that's lost too, is kind of like a self-education. Where now, like what is happening in the mainstream, it's a critique we hear over and over and over again, but it's true, is that modern music and just modern culture in general is just like vapid and shallow and overly obsessed with money, and where it's like everybody has bills to pay, and I'm not mad at that, but like there are other things in life too. For instance, Milkbone, quickly, like Milkbone just dropped a song about his son, and how it's he could be rapping about anything, and this man is a legend. Like this is a guy that everybody who knows hip hop knows Milkbone, and like he's out there making real music. It's out there, and it's like you're never gonna hear 2 Chainz on the radio with a song, or you're never gonna hear a song on the radio. I'm not mad at 2 Chainz either, but you're never gonna hear a song on the radio about like love for your family. It's only gonna be about these very consumer driven motifs in music. And it used to be different. Like John Lennon and the Beatles has All You Need Is Love. It's a huge hit. It's the first transatlantic television broadcast, is them recording the song. It's a #1 hit. It's about love, and that's just like gone from music now.
Jason said rap used to respect women, now it degrades them, which I could talk about that another day. I could go on about that for an hour. I got a song that I want to play that
would be great to open up that dialogue.
But it's kind of like the chicken or the egg thing to a certain extent too. At what point do we have to start looking at the artists saying, reach out to these newer generations and force them to be exposed to this music, instead of letting the radio do it for us?
Exactly.
That's the kind of, isn't that what we're talking about? The difference here between hip hop and mainstream music, in essence, pop music as opposed to underground.
But also talking about how the mainstream used to have depth to it, and that's eroded. You know what I'm saying? Like that. it is a chicken and the egg thing. It's on both. It's on the artist to make this content, but like as I said, like the content is out there. It's just that it's not being picked up by major media outlets, and like who knows why that is.
It's because that the people that are spending the money aren't responding to it. So,
well, who knows though? Like if I'm living in a low income area with a low income lifestyle, it's not an option to me to eat like healthy organic food. Like you know what I'm saying? Like if they had healthy options on the shelf, they might sell. Mm-hmm. But that if you walk into a 7-Eleven, you're not going to find for instance, I just moved to I'm not going to name the town because I don't want to shit on my.
Are you showing up at your house?
Yeah, no. I just don't want people to. I don't want to shit on this town because that's where I live.
Yeah.
But there's no grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, and if there is, like, they don't have like really healthy foods. So the point being is that like if all I have available to purchase is like Choco Tacos and Red Bull and Slim Jims and potato chips, mm-hmm. and then I'm told that that's all that people are buying. Well, that's all that's on the shelves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but as well as I do because about food.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about that too. That a family of 4 can spend $20 at the grocery store and get a healthy organic meal.
Yes, true, very true.
And not go to McDonald's, but they also have to make the choice. So you're right. It's both. It's on both sides. It's on the. I think that musicians definitely have an obligation to reach out to the fans in a more unique way. Like a KRS One needs to be at a high school saying, "This is why I did what I did. This is why I said what I said, and this is why I think that you should listen to it." And I'm not knocking anybody else, and I'm not hating on the new generation. I just want you to listen to this.
Right.
And I think that the fans have an obligation to reach out and try to find content that isn't so superficial.
Right. It just takes a little bit of digging,
It's the consumer has to educate himself, really, what it comes down to.
Yeah. They do, but again, it goes back to where do you get the education? Because if you look online, the blogs, the media sources, the newspapers are being inundated by the same folks that are pushing the radio wagon. And so it very much is linked together. So if I go to rollingstone.com, I'm just going to use it as an example. Again, not knocking them, but if I go to them, what I'm reading about is exactly what I'm listening to.
Right.
I'm not finding anything new. You know what I mean? It's
right.
It's not going to allow me to find the underground stuff.
That's true, but they kind of spotlight the up and coming, the
up and coming that are making money.
Right. Well.
But like also like I think it comes down to. It is the onus is on the artist as well. Like if I know a lot of talented artists who just don't hustle like that. Mm-hmm. So then they're not taken seriously when there's like a chance to, there's a show coming up. The show needs to be booked. If somebody is like notoriously unreliable or unprofessional, they're not going to get booked. They're not going to get exposed. They're not going to meet somebody who can get them an opportunity to advance their brand, so on and so forth. And that like, if people really do believe in this music and as much as they say they do, then they should be, trying a little harder.
Yeah. You got to
believe
in yourself,
You're on that path because you have a new album out.
That's correct. Manic Expression, yes.
Manic Expression. It's out, available. People could get it.
It's available at www.shedjam.com. Shout out to my Shed Jam family.
Well, I want to talk about Shed Jam too, but I think we should give all the folks at home an opportunity to listen to you.
Okay,
so they know. You had mentioned a song that might be good to play first, right?
Oh, well, I mean, I guess you pick anything from there. I was just in relation to what the guy was talking about, hip-hop disrespecting women. If you want to, I mean, maybe pick something a little more lighthearted, and we'll think about that discussion while this plays.
Reflect, is that the one?
Reflect is a great song. It's short and sweet, but it's produced by my man Rob Devious, and that's a classic. That's a fan favorite. That's like all my fans love that song. It's one of the best I've ever done. I take a lot of pride in it. So if you want to play that, that'd be great.
Well, then we must play it, and Dan is happy right now.
It doesn't matter what we play.
All right. This is Reflect off of Manic Expression. Again, shedgen.com, right?
Yep.
All right. We'll be back in a second.
But yeah,
back and recline to reflect. And may I remind you and interject that you gotta open your mind to a bigger check if that's what you wanna get. Visualize and project, correct. Direct or set, don't be no extra. Please don't lecture, he know better. But don't budge, so we don't preach. Just slide up in the dub with a keynote speech. That East Coast heat been missing for a minute. We were slipping, but lately been more attentive. And plans is much more than tentative, man. Meant to pencil them in, but had a pen in his hand. So remember what you wishing. In the rat race, swinging in the back cage, cause your other hand pitching. Out the way, fastball on the mission. In the track, ass gritting, had that freaking bat splitting in half. Hardball ain't your game, son. Maybe you should take a stab at Batman. Flow so radical, high pro sitting on low bros. Go home, on sabbatical, yeah. Man, pay attention. I don't keep no secrets close to me, cause see, everybody knows. You can't hide from the light for your whole damn life, so everybody close. It's a world full of problems. Everybody gotta wanna climb to the top. You gotta start on the bottom, you know. Or didn't you know? No.
All right, so there it was. Reflect. That was short and sweet.
It's like a minute and a half long. So it was one verse and like a pre-chorus and a hook. Or
what's that song about?
That song is about how your thoughts contribute a little more to your experience than a lot of people would like to admit. And I think it says like the line that kind of sums it up is like, be careful what you're wishing in a rat race, swinging in the back cage because your other hand pitching. You know how like it's your thoughts manifest. It's reflect. You know, like we reflect each other. Our lives reflect our inner lives reflect our outer lives and vice versa. It kind of creates like a feedback loop.
What is your Twitter? The folks want to know.
I don't tweet. I am not a Twitter bull.
You're not a Twitter? You're not on Twitter?
I'm not a Twitter bull. I do have a Twitter. I think it's Dwan Claim actually.
You do have. I had a Twitter.
It was I created that Twitter account to I think it was a Rich Quick interview that I created that Twitter specifically to participate in tweeting about that interview and haven't used it since. But it's I don't tweet. I have a Facebook. It's Calm Down. It's facebook.com it's facebook.com. Something like calmdown.35. I'm impossible to find.
Yeah, we got to make that a little bit easier to find now that you have an album out, right?
Yeah.
It is calm.down.35.
Word.
That's your
there
Facebook.
You go. Thank you, Jodie.
Yeah, no problem. I'm here to help.
Awesome.
All right, I want to know a little bit about your writing process because you are not your subject matter is a little bit, I believe, deeper. Even when it doesn't seem like it, it really does have an underlying message.
Absolutely.
That has some depth.
Yeah.
So, what is your writing process like when you started? Do you just have these random ideas? You have notebooks everywhere, and you're just jotting these ideas down. Is that how it goes?
Yes, that's part of it. I mean, there's my writing process varies a lot. I mean, sometimes it'll start with a concept that I want to illustrate, and I'll go from there. Sometimes it's just a hot line, like something will pop in my head, like, oh, that's a funny like turn of phrase, and then I'll start a verse around that. Some verses are just wordplay, it's just having fun with words. A lot of the times, my best writing, not to be hackneyed, but happens in my head. Like my best writing happens when I'm moving, like when I'm driving or when I'm at work or walking or something like that, where I have time to mull the lines over in my head before I write them down. Mm-hmm. And I generally won't commit anything to a page until it's something that is worth writing down to me. You know what I mean? I'm not just gonna. I always waste time if I just try to like sit down and start writing like stream of conscious.
Yeah.
Although sometimes that works too. I don't. I never used to write on the spot, like in the studio. I do that more so these days. I mean,
sometimes you're gonna have to. You're forced to.
Yeah, just like, yeah. But I always have like in my phone, I have verses for days too. So like if one of those verses applies to the project in question, I can like use that. You know, some people are great at like our Corfu brother and longtime friend of mine and collaborator Miles is famous for being able to just write on the spot. Like he will write a classic verse in like 5 minutes while the beat plays. You know, I know Rich writes on the spot a lot. Rich Quick. I know Ohm writes on the spot. Sometimes I don't even like to write. You know, my favorite part about hip hop or when it comes to rap, like MCing, when it comes to rap, is freestyle. I always like on a show, like I always do at least one song straight through freestyle, no hooks, none of that.
Screw Tape's in the chat room right now, and he said,
"What up, Screw?
You're lying that Dan writes all of your rhymes."
That's completely false. That's patently false.
It's completely false, right?
Except he actually ghost wrote my lines on 100,000 Gallons, which is one of my more lyrical cuts on Manic Expression. Admittedly, was ghost written by Dan Is the Manager.
No, he didn't. Did he?
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. Let's talk about, because you mentioned it, and I mentioned that we were going to talk about it. We've talked about it a little bit on the radio show before, but Corfu. So,
am down.
What is Corfu?
I
know it's a very difficult question to answer, right?
It's not, but it's just kind of dicey. You know, there's some characters involved that might not be too appreciative if I let too much information go. But, no, but in all seriousness, it's a strange thing. What is Corfu? I didn't even know what Corfu is, how it happened.
It's a year old now.
It's a year old. It has officially been Corfuing for a year now.
Like 2 or 3 days ago, it was like a year,
7th,
right?
On the 7th, yeah. What Corfu is on planet Earth is a island paradise in Greece.
Right.
And we had no idea that was a reality when we came together. What Corfu manifests as in this kind of, in the hip hop world, is a collective. It's a collective of artists, musicians, MCs, etc., beat makers, friends, just people who are just down for the cause. And it is a confusing roller coaster of creativity and spirituality. There's a Corfu pizza randomly.
There's a Corfu pizza. I don't know about the pizza.
Check this out. It's I don't know why you would have a pizza restaurant named after a Greek island paradise, but there is one in Philadelphia. And it has no Greek food on the menu. But we just started kind of like, as we started working together, we discovered lots of Greek coincidences. I mean, there's the fact that this is Philadelphia, which is Greek for the city of brotherly love.
Yeah.
B, it's kind of like Corfu is kind of like a fraternity. It has fraternity-like aspects to it. Which is it's called Greek life. I didn't go to college, and I definitely would not have been in a frat had I gone. So I don't know too much about that, but I know that the Greek letters and so forth are associated with fraternity life. Also, if you look into the history of Corfu, it's really interesting. There was a poet philosopher, I think his name was like Philadelphus, and there's just like lots of like Philly Corfu connections. Vasily, who's an MC who has raps as Vas, has a big part in the formation of Corfu. He's Greek Bowl, booked a show at the M Room that kind of kicked everything off, which has Greek ownership, a lot of Greek food on the menu. Just weird, these just strange like Greek coincidences. And so that's a big part of it. That's like over here, that's a layer. It doesn't really have when it comes to Corfu, there's not really a continuity to it. Everything just kind of like pops up sporadically. But everybody's really dope and motivated and focused and thorough. And I
will say this, since you've all kind of come together and formed this collective, there has been more new projects coming out of the group.
Yes.
Before than when you were individuals.
Absolutely.
I feel like everybody's releasing stuff or doing stuff. There's a lot more stuff happening.
And we kind of keep on top of each other. Like we stay in touch around the clock through mysterious means, and we got to know each other very well. And
you have a dictionary and everything now, like
there's
own
a lot
vocabulary.
Of vernacular, all him no heish, real ant no sar. We follow the code, I mean, like we spread him, we ignore heish. And, we all are.
No one knows what that means right now.
Everybody knows what that means.
I know you know what that means, but we have a lot of like non-Corfu
Well, that's okay.
Folks listening who do not know what that means.
That's okay with us. You know what I mean?
You're okay with that.
We're totally okay with that. But they know what it means. You know what I mean? Like if I say spread heme and ignore Haish, you know, like you can kind of import your own meaning to that. Like what did Jackson Pollock's paintings mean? I don't know. It depends on who's looking at it. You know what I mean? Like you kind of project your own meaning into it. I don't think it's that hard to figure out. You know, like either you're Corfu or you're an ass baby. Like that's pretty straightforward. You know, or is it?
So talk about Shed Jam a little bit.
Shed Jam, wow.
Because there is a relationship between Corfu and Shed Jam, right?
Yeah, in a lot of ways. I mean, Shed, how can I even start to describe the Shed? Well, the Shed, just so people know, it's not a Shed, it's the Shed. I think people get it twisted if we say Shed Jam is a hip-hop collective that came out of a shed in Fairless Hills, Pennsylvania. It is a spacious shed that is adorned with beautiful art from a lot of different people who come to just kick it in the shed. I encountered the Shed through a hip-hop artist who some people might know, Biz Mighty. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Biz Mighty.
Of course, and congratulations to Biz right now.
Absolutely.
On being a new father.
He has a beautiful baby daughter, Dahlia, which her name means destiny, which I think is pretty cool. And yeah, I actually haven't seen her yet. I'm supposed to go visit her, one of these days. But yeah, congratulations, shout out to Biz. But Biz hit me up. This is back in MySpace days, and he hit me up on some. Let me take your the meaning of your life away from you. Like I don't care, like how we do it. Let's battle. Your family can judge it. Like I'll put money on it. I don't care. Like he came at me on MySpace. Like I will destroy you in a battle. And
Biz does stuff like that. He's a fire starter in a way.
Apparently, yeah.
Like
he has. That was
for those folks at home listening right now. This is all sarcasm that's happening right now.
This actually is yes.
Yeah.
But it's real ant at the same time. But Biz has a reputation for coming at people online.
Yeah.
And in real life. But anyway, he hit me up and he wanted to battle, and we went back and forth for a little bit, and then it just we just decided that it would be a better idea to collaborate. And I remember like him and Miles came to my house at the time I was living in Bristol, and we just started working on some tracks. And they invited me to come. They said they had shows at the Shed or whatever that I didn't really I hadn't heard of. And which is weird because I've been living in Levittown and making hip hop music for a long time, and I hadn't never even heard of this until, and I didn't even know how Biz heard of me. I don't know how any of this started.
Well, in the MySpace days, that Philadelphia hip hop community was very closely knit.
Yeah, we had the message board and everything, 215hiphop.com. Yep. Shout out to 215hiphop.com.
Yeah, which and I'm glad that you brought that up, and I just want to mention that again. Justin was pretty instrumental in kind of running that. At the time, the community was so close knit.
Yeah.
Then that something as simple as a message board, everybody would talk on a regular basis. It was a lot of the same bullshit sometimes that you'll see on Facebook and MySpace, but the difference is that it was kind of focused and isolated in this one particular area, and everybody got a chance to talk about music, and it was none of the other crap,
just random stuff. Yeah, and they did have the sports forum, but that was like a separate thing. But like it wasn't just like
I just ate this for lunch. Look at my picture. Yeah, it wasn't
like,
that stuff.
All that stuff, exactly. And yeah, I think like that's like we recently purchased CorfuAmDown.com, and that's one of the things that I wanted to do on that was have a message board, because I like that's something that I miss a lot. Like that was great. I mean, there was a lot of drama that kind of sprang forth from that, like basically due to Shed Jam, but like that's kind of like one of the things that we were notorious for. Certain members of the family were notorious for. But yeah, I think
the family.
Who's
the family?
Who do you
family? Listen, so Shed Jam, just to kind of break it down even a little bit simpler, is a studio too.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. That's
a huge part of it.
Yeah, it's a shed. It's furnished. It's is beautiful art. You can there's a panorama of the interior of the shed. Taken by Avalon Lee at www.shedjam.com. That's www.shedjam.com. But yeah, you could actually see what it looks like. It's gotten a little recently been refurnished in a way that Rob got a bunch of new tapestries with music money. Shout out to Rob Devious, the god. But yeah, we go there, we make music, we cipher, we party.
Did you just use the word tapestry?
Tapestry, yes.
I'm really impressed that you. That's a great word.
Well, dude, I'm a word. I'm a vocabulary bull. I like that's another way.
I'm a vocabulary
bull. Yeah, I'm a vocabulary search. Scan vocabulary for applicable word. Failure. Bull.
John.
When in doubt, say bull.
Yeah, that was great.
But yeah, that's another way I'll write a song sometimes. It's like I'll just like listen as interesting words come up. Like I'll hear a word or like a non sequitur in conversation, like, oh, I got to write that down. You know, and just like I have like a running list in my phone of just like interesting words. Like I have to use these in a verse, you know, that I'll just hear throughout the day, you know. So that's another thing I do sometimes is just.
Speaking of which, actually, all right, this album took you how long from when you were like basically done with it to actually put it out?
To being done with it to putting it out, it went on the shelf. I recorded this with CJ Smith in 2009. And I actually we had this was supposed to come out on the same day as Biz Mighty Mad at the World. And we actually had a release party at Pass and Stowe. When Pass and Stowe, shout out to Jeff Stress Davis and Pass and Stowe. When Pass and Stowe was in Bristol before he moved to Girard,
right.
And it ended up, I was not ready to release Manic Expression for whatever reason because I'm a perfectionist and a lunatic, and I shelved it myself, and then it just collected dust. And I wasn't really even sure if I was going to ever release it or like do music seriously or anything. When the whole Corfu movement, I mean, it had my involvement in it, at least, kind of started with I went to a Beats and Rhymes. I hadn't been rapping at all. Dan and I actually were trying to start a LLC with Shed Jam, and all the members of Shed Jam at the time, and it kind of just went belly up. Like there was too many ego clashes, and it just didn't happen. And so at that time, I was just kind of like, you know what, like I'm just gonna get away from music altogether, and so I was, focusing more on visual arts and like culinary stuff, and I actually had a bunch of, personal life things that kind of blew up, and some really tough times for me as far as just like getting back to reality, let alone any kind of like forward motion when it came to my career in music.
Right.
And, but I went to, just as a fan, to a Beats and Rhymes event, which is one of my favorites. It's just like a dope event that
again 215 Hip Hop
215hiphop.com, of course. And it's just a production showcase, and I'm a beat addict. Like I will drive around and listen to instrumentals. I'll listen to beat instrumentals, you know what I mean, in my car. Just I don't need lyrics, so I like that event a lot. And I was there to support Sev One, shout out DJ Sev One, and Rich happened to be there. I think he was rhyming for Mr. Green.
Mr. Green, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And Stress was there. That's when Rich and Stress are linked. That's the first time I met Rich. And for whatever reason,
That's the first time you met Rich?
In person, yeah. I had been talking to him on social networks and stuff, and he knew all the people I knew. But I never had met Rich in person. I got a copy of I'm with the DJ, and or maybe I met him at Maxie's. No, after that I started going to Maxie's. But, But anyway, like that we started working, and that's what kind of got me back into hip hop. So the reason that Manic Expression took so long to release is like I wasn't even sure if I was gonna do this.
Right.
And I mean it just came out, and I was finished recording in 2009. There's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, like I was saying, like a lot of things in my personal life happened, stuff like that. But a lot of it was just like kind of self-deprecation and doubt and just feeling like it could be better, like perfectionism. I know that there's a documentary just came out about Tribe Called Quest, and like Q-Tip has talked about in that regard, like where you have to take that record from him, or he will never release it. He will just keep making small changes until it'll just never come out. You have to just go take that record from it and force it out.
We're gonna take this microphone from you unless we play another track right now. We gotta hear.
Yeah, well, I just want to ask one thing really quick. I totally forgot what it was.
Nope.
Oh wait,
music.
No. So what I wanted to mention really quickly is that we keep talking about you as a musical career, but you mentioned it earlier that you're a chef.
Well, yeah,
you
for a time I was.
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah.
Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, chef is a title that I hold in high regard. I operated as a chef for a while. I wouldn't call myself a chef.
But you made some pretty impressive meals, from what I understand.
Yes,
and I never had the privilege of tasting any of them, but I did hear that they were amazing.
I did work at a place called Sycamore Grill in Newtown, Pennsylvania. Shout out to Sycamore Grill. If you want to go there, they have delicious. My friend Jim Davin is the head chef there. But yeah, I did contribute specials to the menu. I developed recipes. I have there's a wing sauce on the menu there that is my recipe. So yeah, and I function in the capacity of a chef. Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily. I didn't go to school for it, and I don't I wouldn't claim that title. But yeah, definitely that's something I love to do.
And you're a graphic artist.
Also a graphic
artist, right?
Yes.
So you've done numerous covers.
Covers for people of Saueraker, Nico the Beast, some stuff that never even came out. I mean, I did a bunch of flyer designs.
Milton's Simple Pleasures.
Simple Pleasures.
You did money folders too, right?
I did all the money folders flyers, yeah.
One of the most, I mean, you could still find it online today, that
Absolutely.
flyer. And if you Google it, it was one of the best flyers. It was just so... it just so represented that moment. It was really awesome, and I'll never forget that one. But that was a great one. All right, now we'll play some music.
Yeah.
Another song.
Sawdust one.
That's The Evidence, yeah.
The Evidence, is that what I'm playing?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, don't forget, you can also get this album right now at shedgem.com.
Work.
For free.
Where do I have
or
it?
a donation.
Whichever you prefer.
Oh, it's really for free or a donation?
It's as however much people want to pay. If you don't want to pay at all, don't pay at all.
If anybody listening doesn't pay anything, I'm going to be really mad though. Seriously.
We're going to track your domain name and come to your house.
Yeah, no, for real. Support your local artists and they'll support you. All right, this is The Evidence. We'll be back in just a second.
Shoot.
Thinking can't be at a head full of straw plus a chest full of sawdust from the beams that they cut the Christ cross from. Never random with the bar with lines coming together in points like what they made David start from. Far from the path as boys was all lost ones, believing that there'd be no beef if you ain't start none. But he knew that wasn't true, having had nothing to do with where he got like half of his scars from. Scarf up a rival whenever he saw one, unless they joined his quest to get out of the pond scum. He was a strong one, so he acquired a new skill every single time he came upon one. Chill, just chill with that. Yeah, homie, chill right back. Yeah, homie, chill. We too fly for that. Before you come around here, get your mind intact and just chill. And if you cocky, you probably got no balls, boss. Man, that's a balled up sock in your drawers, boss. You think you're better than us, but it ain't evident, cuz you're too reluctant and hesitant with the evidence. What? We present us the stuff you represent is just love. The haters wish it was us and them instead of just us. The beat, hell yeah, I'm shredding it up with one eye on the prize, the other eye on what the president does. My third eye is on society, cuz if we don't fight back, it will get the better of us. Believe that. If we learn one thing from our history, it's that we don't learn, even if we repeat that. The black sheep with the opposite of black meat. The intelligent and compassionate attract me. The black sheep with the opposite of black meat. The intelligent and compassionate attract me. Chill, just chill with that. Yeah, homie, chill right back. Yeah, homie, chill. We too fly for that. Before you come around here, get your mind intact and just chill.
Yeah. Dan was trying to screw me up.
No, he wasn't.
Either you... No, you always take my side on this show.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, always my side. Never Dan's.
Whoa. Let me fall back. Falls back.
Yeah, I was supposed to hit another song and I couldn't get to it quick enough. I'll take the blame.
How dare you, Dan?
Well, let's just hop on to it then.
No, we have more to talk about though.
That would be a nice...
I promise I will play it. I promise I will play it.
Okay, well, so let's talk really quickly.
Because we only have like 8 minutes, so you need to tell us about your upcoming work.
Okay,
because that's important. We got the album, so talk about that.
Hugely important is what is next. So let me just say first, I got a couple shows coming up to definitely check out. December 12th, Zap has a show at Dobbs with the Foo. December 11th, that Mag and Dan have a show at Voltage Lounge. December 13th in Levittown at Rio with Rich Quick. That's going to be big.
That's this Friday, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Then December 19th at the M Room, Ghost Gang Monthly. Check that out. And December 20th, Rich Quick at the Woodbury Public Library. So there's December 21st. This is a huge show. It's at Kung Fu Necktie. Myself, Voss, Milton, Golden Spiral, Screw Tape. That's going to be a big one. So like basically the point being is that we have tons of shows constantly. That's one thing that the Foo, like I think about how many shows we did collectively over this past year, and it's a pretty respectable figure, I'd say, as far as like the amount of the contribution to the local scene. Coming up next, and like we know that we're sitting on a lot of heat, as we were just talking about while that song was playing, that nobody has heard yet. We haven't released at all. A lot of Rob Devious produced classics that people are going to really have panic attacks over. It's great music. I'm really excited, looking forward to it. I have myself personally, I have a record coming with Rich Quick. She likes it. It's basically, we haven't kind of like honed in whether it's going to be an EP or an LP, but we're just kind of going to over record for it and see what happens.
That's the song we're playing on the way out, right?
That is the title track of that album, and that ties into what my man was saying earlier about like why does hip hop disrespect women? And I don't necessarily think that's true. I think that art imitates life, and like hip hop gets a bad rep as far as like everything from promoting violence in society to disrespecting women, and that we just kind of like write about the lives we lead, and there's nothing new about misogyny or violence. It's been a part of the human experience as far back as anyone can remember, and it's not hip hop's fault. Don't get mad at us. This is a life that chose me.
What about Corfu as a collective? You guys have some music that hopefully will be coming out soon, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's
you have a lot of stuff. You guys are in the studio, I feel like, every night recording.
Well, somebody is definitely.
Yeah.
And the kind of like the big release we have is a track called Back in That Ass, which features everybody from the Foo. Well, not everybody. There's like 35 members of the Foo at least.
Without Screw Tape.
Yeah.
He's not allowed to be on it.
Screw Tape is not allowed. That's something that I can't reveal, but just suffice it to say, Screw Tape was denied admittance to Back in That Ass. Anywho, there's so Back in That Ass is like a 20-minute long song that features everyone from Corfu and some people who aren't in Corfu, and it's a Rob Devious produced track. It is amazing. It's mind-blowing. There's not a weak verse on it, and it's all your favorite personalities from the Corfu family.
How many people are in Corfu? Do you have a number?
I don't have an exact number. It's about 35.
About 35 people.
Roughly 35 people, yeah.
There's no women yet, though, is there?
No, it's a He-Man Women Haters Club so far.
A women's
no, there's...
It would have been. We would have had one.
Who's that? Oh, yeah. Well, there's like the Corfu family, and then there's like the Am Down family. There's an artist right now. I'm not sure what she's going to use as her MC name, but Minda Valerio just did a track with Rob Devious that's pretty decent. You know what I mean? There's like there are female MCs, and Sean Cove was talking about that earlier about how like he made a Facebook status about how female MCs like he didn't really have time for, and I think that's like a sentiment. And he mentioned too, it was like Jean Grey and Ladybug from Diggable Planets. Mm-hmm. So he's not totally discrediting female MCs. He just has his favorites. But I think that's a popular sentiment in hip hop culture, is that for some reason no girls allowed. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like I don't think the Foo would be opposed to having female members. It just nobody came up that kind of we were like, yeah, Am Down, like we need to get in the studio with her.
But I think what's interesting too is something to note about Corfu though, is so people just don't get the wrong idea, is that it's not just MCs. You mentioned this, but I really want to stress that point, that it's producers, it's artists, it's just as you said, friends of people, and that you don't necessarily need to be a member of Corfu to support. Corfu to support what they're doing. Right. And it really is a positive thing.
Absolutely.
And I want to stress that as well. I don't want people to think it's some like super secret collective that's trying to get up into mischief. Yeah. What it is it's a group of artists that are really encouraging and pushing each other to create. And then
the future generation, the scene in general, not just the people that not just the Foo, but like there's I know like Steve Skaggs from Marson House. There's like a bunch of young MCs that go through there, and like we want to encourage them to we want to make sure that there's some a torch to be passed. It is not all about us. It's about the scene in general. Like Nico the Beast. I was talking with him at the last show I did with Adlib in Quakertown, and he was saying like that's one thing he liked about the Foo is that we support. Like it doesn't necessarily. Rich and I just went to see 30 and Over League at the Fire with Adlib for Adlib's birthday party. It's like we're out and we support hip hop in general. We're not some haters. We don't only support our own team.
All right, album available at shedgem.com.
Shedgem.com.
Thank you so much for coming by tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
It was great to have you. We will play She Likes It this evening.
Stress the exclusivity of this track. This recording has never been heard before. This is myself and Rich Quick featuring Milton on a Rob Devious production. So this is hot off the presses exclusive shit right here for that mag.
Thanks Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll be back next Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock with an unknown guest at this point, from what I understand. But in the meantime, check out the website at thatmusicmag.com and hit us up on Twitter at thatmusicmag. See you next Wednesday.
Corvo him down.
You got a wife, I got a side chick. Little did you know, she likes it, she likes it. 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 I mean, this shorty at a show and then she had me on the book and get took back by the fact that my friend list is maxed. Usually a real class act. She got a man, but she look past that. A rapper turned a good girl to a cat stacks. She out in Fairless Hills, she living with her parents still. Her man away at college, eyes booked out there, we chill. One thing led to sex and next suggested text messages. And homie, no disrespect, I'm gone in the morning, no. Y'all can still Skype, dog, or more than ghosts after the night. I'll take that first flight. You right, brother, I'm the worst type. They call me raw, I'm the boy and all y'all balls, broads, draws, balls deep, going hard in the sheets. And you don't know how freaky your girl be when she on me. The best is it's a secret and we keep it. We on that, we on that, we on that creep if she like it. You got a wife, I got a side chick. Little did you know, she likes it, she likes it. 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 Hell yeah, I'm popping flying, you ain't sliding the catch. Your girl riding a stash and then I'm grinding a snatch. Ever since I met her, she been dying to smash. I let her try it, offer cash back and she don't buy it. Send her home to you with my swimmers in her panties. You said you love me, baby girl, this can't be. Understand me, family, you the plan B. Plan A is K, straight up be the stream of candy. My whole clique known as pros and don't stick around. So your chick stick around, hoping we can dick her down. She told me how she pissed off cause you dick around. Or should I say mumble did through the dick in her mouth. Your man joined my side piece, but you ain't know. Please